So Brian, we have a new Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks named Rod Phillips, who's a newly elected MPP, but again, no stranger to politics, from the riding of Ajax. So before we get into it, the first thing that somebody said to me as soon as this release came out was they took climate change out of the name of the ministry. I don't think that that was an oversight or a mistake.
I don't think it was also unexpected within that. And this is another one where we've had the ministry itself, the name has changed. And whereas with, say, training colleges and universities, it was a reversion back to an original name, this is one where it's giving us a bit of an indication, I would suggest, as to where the priorities are going to be with respect to the ministry. So, you know, we're looking at the Ministry of the Environment, climate change is out, conservation is in, and the parks are in as well. So there's a certain component of keeping parks beautiful, encouraging people to make use of Ontario's parks within that, but also the focus on conservation, and this was mentioned in Doug Ford's platform as well, that there were going to be a number of initiatives that we're going to be putting forward. So it wasn't we're completely ignoring the environment, even though we're doing away with cap and trade. There is still going to be programs put in place to improve the environment. They're just of a different nature.
So Rod Phillips is someone who, he was written about a lot. There was a lot of speculation that he would run for the leadership of the PC party after Patrick Brown stepped down. This is someone that was everything from Mel Lastman's chief of staff when the City of Toronto amalgamated, that first amalgamated council. He has actually been the CEO of the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, the chairman of Post Media Financial. He ran Morneau Chappelle for a while, or Chappelle Morneau Chappelle. Yeah. Anyways, it was Chappelle. So this is somebody that has a lot of background. He's got quite the resume. But let's look at what he's up against. So first of all, he's got to oversee the dismantling of the cap and trade regime. The Green On program that was put in place, so cap and trade raises money from emitters, and legislatively all that money had to be spent on environmentally beneficial things like Brian could get new windows, I could get better insulation, and the government would help me pay for it. So that's now gone. We were in a market with Quebec and California on these cap and trade credits.
They're apparently going to be suing us soon on that leaving the cap and trade program. There's a lot of technicalities to this, but we're leaving at a point that leaves them somewhat exposed, which is part of the issue.
And a number of Ontario businesses that have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on these credits under the cap and trade system
are trying to figure out what exactly was happening with it.
Where do I take this now, and do I get a refund?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a big, challenging job for the new minister, Rod Phillips. It's not one of the, I don't think, certainly not one of the easier or happier places to be, at least in the first couple of years of this new government. So he's actually going to need to draw on a lot of that experience that he's had before entering politics. So that's a good thing. I think that we've got somebody who's kind of been out there in the world a little bit that is now able to deal with these things.
Absolutely. He'll definitely need to call upon his business savvy and experience in dealing with, you know, for example, the potentially worthless credits, who knows, with respect to the cap and trade program, and you know, how to deal with the companies who are coming and knocking, asking about that. So yeah, certainly will be a difficult task.
So there you have it, Rod Phillips, our new Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, which used to be at Natural Resources and now got moved to this ministry. So I think you're right, it's a kind of how we go at the environment is reflected in the name. So good luck, Minister Phillips, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from people at Sussex very soon.